The drama begins with the spotlight on the most admired girls of the school. Standing out among them is our heroine, Gina. Not only is she gorgeous, but also a talented idol trainer. Trends don't guide her, she sets them. This is Hannah, who is also an idol trainer like Gina, and this is Manji, who belongs to a very rich family and is also very cute. These three are best friends and are also the most popular girls of the school. On the other hand, we are introduced to our male lead, Lee. He is sitting there looking at Gina when his best friend Chang comes from behind and hits him saying, "What are you looking at?" Then Chang also looks and says, "You were sitting here and again you started looking at Gina." Lee says, "It's not like that. I was looking in the other direction, and then she came and I saw her too." Then Chang says, "You know that she already has a boyfriend and still you are doing all this," and says, "Anyway, both of you are completely different." Lee says, "What if she has a boyfriend? Still I like her." On the other hand, we see Gina. She is a baseball player, and here she is angry with him because he did not remember Gina's birthday yesterday, and he could not celebrate with her. So he says, "If not tomorrow, then let's celebrate it today." But Gina gets very angry because this was not the first time. Young is always busy with his game and does not pay any attention to Gina at all. Then Gina angrily says, "I want to break up with you." Hearing this, he says, "Give me a valid reason, then only the breakup will happen." Then she starts thinking, what is the reason I say to him? And then she says, "I have already got a new boyfriend." But Young says, "Really?" and asks, "Who is he?" Then Gina starts looking here and there, and then she sees Lee's photo there, and she tells him, "He is my new boyfriend." Young says, "Is this really your boyfriend? Then I definitely have to meet him." Gina also says, "Okay, you meet him tomorrow." After that, Gina gets very upset and gives the photo of Lee to her friends and asks them to find him. Three of them together start the campaign to find Lee and are checking every person by taking his photo. Then Chong comes to know about this that Gina wants to meet Lee. Then he directly goes to Lee and tells him, "You know who is looking for you." Chang tells him, "Gina is looking for you." After that, Lee comes to meet Gina and there she directly asks him, "Will you be my boyfriend?" Then we are shown the scene of flashback when he first saw Gina in the broadcasting room, and since then he started liking her. Hearing about being her boyfriend, Lee is completely shocked and says, "Can I be your boyfriend?" Gina says, "Yes." Then Lee says, "What about Yang?" Gina says, "I broke up with him this morning only." Lee says, "So you like me, that's why you broke up with him." She says, "Why would I like you?" He says, "Then why do you want me to be your boyfriend?" Lee doesn't understand anything and he refuses her and leaves from there. After that, Gina is telling all these things to her friends and her friends ask her, "What? He refused you? How can this happen?" The next day, Yang comes to Gina and asks, "Where is your new boyfriend?" He says, "After school is over, introduce me to him." Then Gina says, "Okay," and Yang also leaves from there. After that, she comes to Lee's class, takes his hands, picks him up and takes him away from there, and all the people are watching them. Then coming here, she tells him the whole story and gives him a couple contract and says, "This contract is for 50 days. She says, "During this we will have to pretend like a couple." Then he also understands everything, and he says yes to this contract. Then Gina receives a call from Young. So she tells Lee, "You quickly sign this contract and go out." When she comes out, Yang asks her, "Where is your new boyfriend?" She says, "He will reach there in 1 minute." On the other hand, Lee is thinking, this relationship is fake, but when I stay with Gina for a period of time, maybe she might fall in love with me and this fake relationship should become a real relationship. Thinking all this, he signs the contract. On the other side, Young says, "It has been a million years. It's been a minute until now, none of your boyfriends have come." He says, "I know that you do not have any boyfriend and you were lying to me. Now forgive me and become normal like before." Just then Lee comes from behind and puts his hand on her shoulder and tells Young, "I am her boyfriend." After that, both of them leave from there. In the next scene, Lee is sitting with Gina and her friends. Then Gina says, "I wanted to eat dumplings." He goes and brings a lot of dumplings. Then Gina says, "What was the need for this? If you do not want it, then should I take it?" Then she says, "No, let it be. I will take it." Lee is very happy and also very excited by all this. After that, Lee is waiting outside her training center. When she comes out, she asks him, "What are you doing here?" Then he says, "I will drop you home." Gina says, "I don't need that. I will go home alone." Then she starts leaving from there, and just then she sees Young there. On seeing him, Gina quickly runs towards Lee, and then both of them ignore him completely and leave from there. In the next scene, both of them are getting to know each other, so that Young does not have any doubt. Then at the training center, Hannah asks Gina, "Why are you roaming with that boy? Even you deserve better." Then Gina says, "Yes, but Young knows his face and name because that day I told him that he is my boyfriend." After that, Lee is going to drop Gina to her house. On the way, when she is about to hit the car, just then he comes and saves her. After that, he drops her home and starts to leave. Then she stops him and asks him why. She asks him to save his number in her mobile. Then he saves his number and blushingly leaves from there. Seeing this, Gina also starts laughing. Gina also leaves from there. Then we come to know that someone else is keeping an eye on Gina. In the next scene, she is with her friends and taking a selfie with them. Then she says, "I should call Lee also. If he will stay with me, then Yang will believe in me." Saying this, she messages Lee and calls him there. After that, Lee also reaches there with his friend Chang. He is also very happy to see such beautiful girls sitting with him. Then Gina says, "Why have you brought him here?" Then Lee says, "When you messaged me he was with me and we did not get time to think so we came here quickly." After that Chang amazes everyone with his antics. Here Minji is enjoying a lot seeing all this while Hannah is getting irritated seeing all this and leaves from there to go to the training center. Then suddenly a bright light comes on Gina's face so Lee covers her face with his hand. After that Chang says, "Let us take them to our favorite place." Then these people come to a good place, a gaming place where they find the food very tasty. After that all of them play games together and enjoy a lot. Then when they are leaving the place then a man starts looking at Gina but then he leaves from there. Then Gina takes a selfie with Lee and says, "I will send this to you and you put it on your status. Now I will drop you home." But Gina says, "It is not necessary, I will go myself." Then he takes off all his clothes, takes out his jacket and makes Gina wear it saying, "With this you will not feel cold. Now you go," he says, and saying this he himself goes from there. Gina also likes all this very much. Next day Young sees the photo of Lee and Gina and he does not like it at all. On the other side Gina is sitting with Lee's jacket, then her friends ask about the jacket. Then she says in a different style, "Since yesterday Lee had given me the jacket because he was afraid that I might catch cold." After saying this she leaves from there. Her friends are also very surprised seeing all this. On the other side Young comes to Lee and asks him, "Are you really Gina's boyfriend?" Then Lee says, "Yes, there is no doubt that I am her boyfriend." Just then Gina comes there and tells Young, "If you try to trouble Lee then I will not leave." Hearing this he feels very angry and then he says, "I don't think that you both are in a relationship." On which Gina kisses Lee. Seeing this Young is completely shocked. Then Gina says, "Haven't you been convinced yet?" Then he gets very angry. Then Lee says, "I don't think that you both are in a relationship." Then Lee says to her, "The kiss you just did was real, right?" Gina says, "No, you should not take it seriously. I did that to convince Young." Hearing this, Lee gets very angry and leaves from there. Then her friends also come there. Then Gina says, "I don't know why he got angry because of this." In the next scene, sports day is going on at school where everyone's physical appearance is being checked. There, Young gives his stuff to Gina. But Gina does not keep his stuff, so he also leaves from there without saying anything. Then, on the other hand, Chang is distributing templates of his club here and Lee comes there and picks him up and takes him away from there. Then Chang asks Minji, "Will you join my club?" On which Minji also says yes. Just then, Gina tells Chang, "Bring your friends, so we all will have lunch together." But Lee doesn't come there, so Gina also gets a little upset. On the other hand, Lee is leaving from there. Then he sees Hannah leaving from there. After that, we see both of them sitting there and talking. Lee says, "Should I bring water for you?" But Hannah says, "Since 3 days, I am trying to maintain my diet and still I have not lost weight. Now, after drinking water, in 2 minutes, 1 kilogram more weight will increase." Then Lee says, "Okay, is this so important for you?" She says, "I know that you will say that inner beauty is more important than outer." But Lee says, "I did not say this." While on the other hand, Gina is asking Chang, "Why is Lee angry with me?" Then Chang tells her, "You told him that you gave a fake kiss and that was his first kiss. He kissed him to show it to someone which he did not like." He says, Lee is a very simple boy and he does not like these things. While talking, Chang also tells her that Lee has been liking her for a long time. On the other hand, Lee offers a drink to Hannah and says, "You should drink this. You have become very weak and it can also cause problems to your health." All these things are going on. Just then Minji comes there to call Hannah. While leaving from there, she also takes a drink. From this, we come to know that Hannah has started liking Lee. In the next scene, Gina tells Lee, he says, "Yes, I am liking you since when I had saw you in the broadcasting room." Then Gina says, "Okay," and then apologizes for her mistake and says, "I will not do this from now onwards." But Lee says, "If you do all this in the future, then please do a real kiss." Hearing this, she does not say anything. After that, when she comes to get her blood pressure checked, and as she sees Lee there, her heart starts beating faster. Seeing this, everyone standing there becomes completely shocked and here Young is all over the place. And then she says, "Okay," and then she sees Lee there. And as she sees Lee there, her heart starts beating faster. Also watching this, in the next scene at the training center, the manager says to Hannah, "I have not seen any progress in you yet." On the other hand, she praises Gina a lot and tells Hannah to learn something from her. Hearing all this, Hannah feels very sad. Next day, Lee brings a gift for Gina. Then she asks him, "Why did you bring this?" He says, "It has been a week since we are dating, and this is our first anniversary." Gina gets very happy and says, "You have brought it with so much love, so I accept it, but today's dinner is from my side." So Lee also says, "Okay." After this, she tells her friends that it is a gift from Lee which everyone likes very much. All these things will also be seen by Young who is sitting there and watching them. Then he remembers the incident of 20 when Gina was waiting for him outside. When he comes outside, he says, "You were waiting for so much time. I told you that it will take me some time." Then she gives him a gift. Then he asks her, "What is this for?" Then she says, "It has been 100 days since we are dating." Then he says, "Today I have to go for dinner with my team, so I cannot go with you." Then she says, "It's okay," and gets upset and leaves from there. At present, all these things must be there, or he is sitting and remembering. After that, when she is keeping her stuff in her locker, then she gets some of her photos with which there is also a letter, on which it is written, "We will be together soon." Seeing all this, Gina starts thinking, who is doing all this? Then we see that Young is also sitting there and listening to all these things. In the next scene, all of them join the club of Chang and are enjoying a lot. Then as soon as Chang starts hitting Lee, Gina stops him and says, "What are you doing?" Seeing this, Chang gets very scared. Then Hannah starts saying, "I have heard that there is going to be an autograph session of someone named Namkong Jianga." Then Gina says, "Who is he?" Then Lee says, "Is it really true?" And both get very excited and start talking about this, and Gina is quietly sitting and watching them both. After that, Lee and Chang leave from there for some work. Then Gina says to Hannah, "Do you really like that singer so much?" Then Hannah says, "Yes, he is my secret favorite singer." Then we come to know the backstory that Hannah came to know about the singer from Lee's post in the club. Then Hannah asks Gina, "Did you really like Lee?" But Gina says, "No, it's not like that." She says, "There is a contract relationship between us." Then Hannah says, "It's really like this, right?" In the next scene, we see that Young comes to Hannah and asks for his help. On the other hand, Gina tells Lee, "Today I will not be able to do this. I will not be able to give you a tweet. Next time, I definitely will, because today I have some work left." Then Lee says, "Okay," and she leaves from there. Then Lee is also leaving from there. Just then, he sees Hannah outside. She says, "Today there is an autograph session of Nam Kong Jung." She asks, "Will you come with me?" "Because I am going alone," she adds. Hearing this, he gets very excited and says, "Yes, I will also come." In the next scene, Gina goes to meet Hannah at a place. When she reaches there, she sees that it is Young. Then he says, "I am going alone." Then he says, "I have called you here to meet me." Then she sees some gifts there and says, "What is this?" Then Young tells her, "Till date, I have not given you gifts on your birthday and anniversary, and today I am going to give the same." He says, "This is the gift of our first, second, third anniversary, and this is the birthday gift." Then Gina also sees a lock there. Then Young says, "Nowadays a lot of bad things are happening in your locker, and anyone can open it. So you lock it properly with the help of this lock," he adds. Then she says, "I do not need all of it. I have a boyfriend who can give me all this." Then Gina says, "Now I am going from there." Just then Lee and Hannah also come there. Here Gina does not like seeing them together, and Lee does not like it at all that Gina is with Young, and he leaves from there. Gina also goes after him and starts saying, "What were you doing with Hannah?" Lee also says, "What are you doing with Young? You had said that you have some important work," he adds. Then Gina says, "Yes, I came here because Hannah called me here, but I did not know that Young is here." Then she says, "You went with Hannah without telling me." Saying this, she angrily leaves from there. On the way, she collides with a boy and says sorry to him, and she leaves from there, but this boy is smiling after seeing her. On the other hand, when Young comes out and asks Lee, "Where is Gina?" Then he says, "She left in anger." Young says, "How can you let her go alone at this time?" Then he starts trying to call Gina, but she does not pick up. On the other side, the same boy is following Gina, and Gina looks at his face and says, "You are a player of the baseball team, right? Why are you following me?" she asks. Then this boy says, "I told you that we will meet very soon." Hearing this, she starts to run from there, and that boy also runs after her. On the other side, Young starts saying, "Why did you let her go alone? Don't you know that a lot of things are happening with her these days?" Hearing this, Lee is shocked. Then Young shouts, "You are her boyfriend. Don't you know anything?" Just then, Gina calls Young, and before she could tell him anything, the call gets cut. Young says, "You are going towards her house, and I am going towards the training center." They both leave to find her. On the other side, the same boy tells Gina, "I have liked you for a long time, and that day when you broke up with Young, I decided that I will keep you mine. But I don't know from where that Lee came suddenly as your boyfriend," he adds. "And that day when you kissed him in front of me, which made me very angry. Now I will keep you as my girlfriend," he says. As he is saying these things, Lee reaches there, and as soon as the boy goes to Lee, Gina attacks him from behind. But he still runs away from there. On the way, the same boy collides with Young. Young says, "What are you doing here at this time?" Then he sees that there are many things of Gina in his bag. Seeing this, he understands that this is the same boy who had been keeping an eye on Gina. Then the boy starts going from there, then Young beats him and makes him fall. After that, they get him arrested by the police. After that, she says thank you to Young. Then Young says to Lee, "You are her boyfriend, so take care of her." Saying this, he leaves. Then Lee stands there very sad. Then Gina says, "Why are you making such a face?" Then Lee says, "I could not protect you." Then Gina says, "Today because of you I am standing here safe, otherwise I don't know what would have happened to me." Then he says, "After today I will go to drop you to your house every day." Hearing this, Gina starts laughing and says, "Okay fine, now let's go." Then he drops her home. There Gina tells him, "Today my parents are not at home, so I am alone." He says, "If you are alone you will not be scared." Then she says, "Okay, you stay with me tonight," on which he also agrees and goes to her house. Here both of them are sitting and eating, then Lee is staring at Gina. Then Gina says, I know that I am beautiful, but you should not look at me like this. Then he says, yes, you are beautiful, but right now I am looking at something else. Saying this, he cleans her face. Then Gina says, I know that I am beautiful, but you should not look at me like this. Gina starts complaining, why did you remove it from there? I had intentionally put it there so that I could eat it tomorrow, she adds. Hearing this, he starts laughing. After some time both of them fall asleep sitting with each other. Next day Gina's friends are asking her about yesterday's incident. Then Gina says, you should not need to get tensed because he has been arrested now. After that Young comes there and she goes to him and thanks him for yesterday. Young says, there is no need to thank me, but you can give me a gift in return. Gina says, what kind of gift should I give you to become my boyfriend again? Young says, no, I want to become your friend. After that all these people are sitting together. There Minji tells them, we all should go on vacation to refresh our mood. Everyone agrees to this. Then Young comes there and says, I will also go on vacation with you people. Hearing this Lee starts looking at him. In the next scene they reach Minji's old house and as soon as they arrive they start playing games and enjoying themselves. Then Gina comes to Lee and says, it was lying in the broadcasting room so I brought it so that I can record some of our memories. After that Lee is cooking food in the kitchen then Hannah comes and starts helping him. But then Gina also comes there and she gets very angry after seeing Hannah. After that they start eating and Hannah asks Lee to serve food to her also. But then Young says, why would someone else's boyfriend serve you food? After that all these people start the game again where one person will ask some question in the ear of the other person. And the other person has to answer by pointing out to whom the question is related. If anyone sitting there wants to know the question then first of all he has to get beaten by all of them and then he will know the question. After this these people start the game and first of all Minji asks Chang, if you want to go on a date then with whom you would like to go? Then Chang points out to Minji. Both of them become very happy. Next Chang asks something to Gina. Then she points out to Young. Lee says, I want to know this question. Then everyone beats him. After that Chang tells him, I had asked, who is it that eats food in the kitchen at night? Chang starts laughing. After that Gina is pointing out to Young again and Lee is also trying to know every question and gets beaten by all of them a lot. Then Young asks a question to Hannah and Hannah points out Lee. Then Gina says, I want to know the question. Then all the people beat her and then Young tells her, I asked Hannah whom she is most interested in. Hearing this she does not like it at all. After that she is thinking about the same thing while sitting there. Then she heard the sound of something so she starts looking outside but just then someone comes there and she gets scared. But he is Lee. After that they both go out and sit at a place where Gina starts singing and Lee is recording it and says, both your voice and you are very beautiful. After that both of them start kissing but suddenly they get embarrassed and stop. Here Hannah is still thinking about the same thing. I want to know the question. Hannah is standing and watching everything. Then she comes home in anger. Then Young says, what happened to you suddenly? In anger Hannah tells him both of them are in a contract relationship but don't know why everything is becoming real. Hearing this he is completely shocked and at the same time very happy too. In the next scene all the people are leaving from there. Then Minji says, what will these things do here? Everyone should take things of their choice. But Gina is taking all the things. Then Hannah says, you want everything. This is the thing I don't like. Hearing this Gina says, what are you saying? Whatever you want take from there, she adds. But Hannah leaves from there angrily. At outside Young tells Hannah, I have come to know that you like Lee but you have to wait for the right time like I am doing. After that Gina comes to the training center and is trying to talk to Hannah but Hannah does not reply to her. Then the manager comes there and starts telling everyone, you people have to invest some money because our agency is going through a difficult time. Then Gina says, there was nothing in the contract that we have to deposit money. Then the manager says, yes you are right but the money will be deposited only by the person whose progress is very low like Hannah. Then the manager asks Hannah to deposit 10 million rupees. Then Gina says, why should she give all the money? You should look at everyone with the same eyes. On which the manager says, we are complimenting you too much then you have started talking too much. Then Gina says, there is no need for us to stay here. She holds Hannah's hand but Hannah does not support her and says, if you want to go then go but I want to stay here. On hearing this Gina leaves the agency alone. After that she remembers Hannah and her own memories and starts thinking, I don't know how you changed so much suddenly. After that she comes to Lee and tells him all these things and says, is it my fault in this? But Lee says, no it is not your fault. You did the right thing and anyway you do not need to work in that agency. Then he shows her the video and says, if I upload it on social media then you will be very famous. Then Gina says, do it, really go viral. Lee says yes and both start smiling. In the next scene, Gina comes to meet her brother-in-law and sister, and then she also tells them about her contract relationship. She says, now I have started liking that boy very much and I will confess my feelings to him soon. Knowing this, her sister becomes very happy. On the other hand, the manager tells Hannah, you take back all your money, but bring Gina back here. Because she was the face of our team and without her we are nothing, the manager adds. She has gone because of you so you should take her there again. But Hannah says, I have deleted her number and now both of us are not friends. On the other hand, both of them are sitting together and then Lee is surprised to see something. Then he tells Gina, look, the video has gone viral and you have become very popular. Then she says, this credit goes to you. Then the pen falls from Lee's hand and he bends down to pick it up. Then Gina, she also bends down and while picking up the pen, she catches Lee's hand. Seeing this, he gets very shy and starts getting nervous. Seeing this, Gina says, it is okay, you write with the right hand. She tries to free her hand, but he says, no, I am fine like this. Seeing Lee's reaction, Gina starts laughing. On the other side, a romantic comedy is going on between these two. Then Chang says, today was the match of Young. Then both of them start watching his interview, in which he says, the girl whom I like should support me. Then Chang asks, what do you think? He says, I don't know. Then he starts searching for the charger to charge his phone in Lee's bag. Then he finds the contract of both of them instead of the charger. Both of them are laughing at this. Hannah also sees all this. In the next scene, Lee goes to Young and asks, why did you say all this in the interview? Then Young says, it means you took the interview. And the game is not over yet, he adds, and saying this, he leaves from there. Then Hannah also sees that on social media, Gina's video has gone viral. And seeing this, she does not like it. Then Young comes there and asks Hannah about Gina. Then Hannah says, everyone is asking about her. I do not know where she is, she adds. On hearing this, Young leaves from there. After that, Hannah comes to Lee and expresses her feelings, I like you. But if you don't want that, we can come into a contract relationship. After this, you will start liking him gradually, she says. But Lee says, I only like Gina, not anyone else. Hearing this, Hannah angrily says, what is there in her that everyone wants to like her? Then Gina also appears there and says, what are you both talking about? Hannah says, you can't see that we both are talking, so please go from here. But Gina holds Lee's hand and while leaving says, he is my boyfriend. Then she takes him from there. Seeing this, Hannah gets very angry. In the next scene, everyone in the school had come to know that there is a contract relationship between Lee and Gina. Knowing this, Lee is running towards Gina. But Hannah stops him on the way and says, after all this, Gina is very angry with you and she says, I do not want to meet with you. After that, Lee is sitting there and watching Gina from a distance. On the other hand, Gina is waiting for Lee because she needed support. He is also getting very bad comments. While on the other side, the match of Young is going on, but as he comes to know in the news that everyone is criticizing Gina, he runs towards Gina. While on the other side, Gina comes to know that someone had kept her contract photo in this room and her full doubt goes towards Hannah. So she goes to her and says, you have done all this right? Hannah also accepts this, and says, yes, because I want to snatch everything from you. Then Gina says, what are you saying? We are best friends. But Hannah laughs and says, I have been hating you since the beginning. Since you came to the training center, everyone's focus is on you. She adds, whatever I need, you snatch it out from me. And now I want to snatch everything out of you. After hearing this, she says, what are you saying? Then everyone hears the voice of Lee who is saying in the mic, yes, there was a contract relationship between Gina and me, and now I also do not want to stay in this contract, because I have been considering it really from the beginning, and now I have to convert it into a real relationship, he adds. Then he confesses his feelings, which makes all the students very happy. He also says, you guys should support my love. Then she tells Hannah, no matter how much someone hates me, but one person who loves me is enough for me. She leaves from there. Then the teacher comes to the broadcasting room and takes him out to punish him. After that, she sees that Lee had put another note on the notice on which it is written, it is true that there was a contract relationship, but for me, it was always real. Seeing all this, Gina also says everything was real for her too. Now in a few days, everything became normal and everyone forgot everything and they are enjoying. On the other hand, Young's leader asks him, did you get the thing for which you had left that day? Then Young remembers the day when he came running to Gina, but he sees that she is looking at Lee's note. Then he starts thinking, maybe I am late again. Now there is no one else in her heart except Lee, he thinks. Thinking all this, he leaves from there without saying anything. In the next scene, Gina has come to meet Hannah and says, why are you not coming to school for so long? She says, I am angry with you. But still we can forget everything and start afresh, Gina adds. On which Hannah says, okay, I am ready to forget everything and we will remain friends like before and I will also go back to school. But I have a condition, Hannah says. So Gina asks, what kind of condition? Hannah says, after this contract relationship is over you will not date Lee because I like him. Hearing this, Gina says nothing and leaves from there. On the other hand, Lee is thinking that after this contract relationship is over, how will he propose to Gina? Thinking this, he is going crazy. On the other hand, Gina is remembering the words of Hannah. Then she gets a goodnight message from Lee and she gets very upset. In the next day, we come to know that today is the last day of the contract between these two. So Gina says, today we will do everything that we have not done till now as such a couple. Both of them do many things one by one and enjoy a lot. On the other hand, romance between these two is also going on. Just then, Hannah comes there and asks about Gina and Lee. Then these people say, we don't know where they are. Then she comes to Young and says, you gave up so soon, don't you want to live with Gina now? He says, now there is only Lee in her heart. There is nothing for me in her heart now, he adds. He says, now you also forget Lee. Saying this, he leaves from there. On the other hand, both of them come to a place and Lee is waiting for Gina. After 12 o'clock, he confesses his feelings to her, but Gina says, thanks for staying with me for so many days. Hearing this, he finds it very strange and says, what are you saying? But Gina gets up and starts to leave. But Lee stops her and says, what happened to you suddenly? We both like each other. But she doesn't say anything to him and leaves from there. Lee also gets very upset here. After that, both of them stay alone and don't talk to each other. After that, Young says to Gina, how did all this happen suddenly between you two? Then she says, we have broken up, and she starts crying. Then Young says, you didn't cry this much even after our breakup. But I know that now you have nothing for me in your heart, he adds. But we can always stay as friends. If you like Lee so much then don't take your love away for someone else, he says. On the other hand, Lee tells all this to his father. Then his father says, she must have some problem with it, so she said something like this. But you try again once. Hearing all this, Lee decides that he will propose to Gina once again. On the other hand, Gina comes to meet Hannah and says, I was crazy to listen to you. You have changed the definition of friendship and I cannot leave my true love for a friend like you. Saying this, she leaves from there. After that, both of them run towards each other and come face to face. After that, they confess their feelings to each other, hug, and then leave from there holding each other's hand. In the next scene, Hannah is also leaving the school, which makes Minji feel very sad. In the next scene, Lee calls Gina at Tari's and gives her a new contract and asks her, will you be my girlfriend and stay with me for a lifetime? Then she says, okay. Then he says, you sign it. Gina kisses on the contract and says, this is how the contract is signed. You will also sign it. But he says, I sign but somewhere else. He kisses her. Then he says, from now on I am your boyfriend. She says, I am also your girlfriend. She kisses him. And with this our sweet drama ends here. How would you like this drama and which was your favorite character? Let us know in the comments and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for watching more dramas like this.